my way.
We're getting off this hill! Come with me!
So hey guys, it's Zion again, and I hope you enjoyed that little intro clip from this late point in the marvelous, amazing, revolutionary campaign multiplayer here in the full release of Titanfall. Oh, are you not so excited? I am, or I was until I started playing the campaign and found out that it was something of a joke. And I'm not going to pull any punches with this first impressions. I'm going to call this my first part of my review in progress for Titanfall. I will be writing a full review in a while once I've had a couple weeks to really play the game and get a handle on it. But then, and I'll be writing it on the Top Tier Tactics blog. But I wanted to get these early dirty review bits out of the way. And I want to say that for as much hype as Respawn put in their campaign multiplayer, it's kind of funny, actually, how lackluster it is. Now, let me preface all of what I'm about to say by saying that first, I really enjoy the game. Second, as little content as there is, because there's like, what, 10 or 12 primary weapons, whereas we used to Battlefield with 50 or Call of Duty with like 20. And then you have like 3 secondary weapons, no other special weapons, and I was expecting something else to come with the Smart Pistol. I still like the game. I understand that Respawn is a small team. They don't have a lot of manpower to create the gigantic single-player epic moments that a studio like Infinity Ward does. They didn't have the time because Culprit mentioned that on Twitter we were having a conversation about Titanfall, and he was wondering, I had mentioned that there was a lot of R&D time on this game. He was saying, well, it's just Mech Warrior with COD, right? Well, I would say that that's true from a purely mechanical standpoint. They have to come up with a fiction for the universe, have to come up with a feasible models for their giant robots that are still recognizable as mechs in the traditional sense, but are still unique in of themselves. And then, of course, they have to make the maps and make the map conform to the fiction. They have to do the voice acting. All this stuff takes R&D time that they can't really spend building the levels and balancing the guns. I will also say that you don't need a lot of guns to make a game worthwhile. Counter-Strike is proof of this. Now, Counter-Strike has a lot of guns at this point, but I don't think it had too many when it first launched, and Titanfall is the first in a series, I believe, and at this point, they've got the R&D done, they know what their fiction is, and they can build from here. Now, here is my not at all funded by EA or Respawn, or in fact anyone except my own YouTube channel, which, let me tell you, does not fund me very well at all, opinion of Titanfall. It's fun. It's fast. I enjoy it. It's probably not worth $60 in its current state. I think that for what is currently available in Titanfall, the game is worth $40, I would think. Content-wise, I think there should be a few more guns. I think there should be at least one more Titan. Maps, the map number is fine for a game this size. I think that there should be more grenade. Your equipment should be more numerous in number. And so for what you're getting, you're buying maps, and I think that also the campaign needs more fleshing out, because in this mission that you're watching right now, at the end of it, one of the characters says in the little corner at the top, "It was an honor serving with you." He entered your party, or your ship, or your militia, whatever it is, 2 maps before this, and they're not levels, they're maps, they're multiplayer maps. 2 levels before this, and you literally hear him talk for about 5 minutes. There's no character investment with this guy, and he's saying, "It was an honor serving with you." An honor doing what? We have literally just been killing each other because that's what you do in a shooter, while the NPCs are out shooting giant lasers, and we're just told that this is a good thing. Again, the campaign, for all its hype, lackluster and a bit of a disappointment. I also am not a fan of the fact that you have to play the lackluster campaign to unlock extra Titans for your custom loadouts. I think there should be an alternate route to that. forcing something that isn't necessary, it isn't a core experience, down the throat of your player base just so they can unlock the name of your game. It's Titanfall. One word, Titanfall. The act of making a Titan fall to the ground. If you can't access all of your Titans, doing Titanfall is something of a problem. Also, as far as the Titans are concerned, now that I'm on the subject, the Ogre is stupid. It has too much health, too many shields, and I think that while the Atlas is still by far the best Titan, and the Strider just seems vastly outmatched and outgunned by the Atlas and the Ogre, I think that if people learn how to exploit the Ogre or the Atlas or the Strider, and they will, because I know there's already hacks for this game. I know that people are already using macros on their mice or something like it. So there needs the balancing so far, it's pretty good, right? It's not. I'm not going to disparage the game and say that, oh, this is the worst balanced game ever, because honestly, it's probably one of the better balanced games. Because, you know, you have the carbine like I'm using here, it's got a suppressor, but the suppressor severely nerfs the range. You have to get like 7 or 8 hit markers with it to kill someone from even medium range. And of course the SMG, which I use later on in this gaming session, and I have, I think, one gameplay with, is absolutely monstrous up close, but again, 7 to 8 shots necessary at any conceivable distance in order to make it work. And I understand, like I said, why there aren't as many weapons, because this is the future. It's some significant time in the future. And even the intro cinematic covers the span of human existence as far as technology is concerned in about 2 minutes. And we get the last 30 seconds or so is people moving into space and going into the galaxy itself, which that's 30 seconds that covers probably several hundred, if not several thousand years of human development. And really, we haven't progressed that much as a species because we're still biting each other's throats and generally being dicks to each other. And if I can go on to the story for a little bit, I am interested in the story of Titanfall, and they've made a very big deal of it. You know, Hammond Robotics, they had these really cool intro cinematics that before the game came out on the Titanfall site, like Hammond Robotics, and all this. But again, the story means nothing to me. If you're going to hype something, anything, it must be part of the core experience. The campaign isn't, the multiplayer is. And as far as the multiplayer is concerned, I think, and this is paraphrasing something that I heard when I was in TeamSpeak, the game is not the issue right now. There aren't that many imbalance issues. There's no IEDs like in Ghosts. There is a one-shot sniper rifle, but no one's unlocked it yet, really, or at least no one's using it that I can tell. There's not much in the way of bullshit, as far as I've seen yet. Will people find the exploits in the coming week? Just a week? Yes, I'm sure they will, but as of right now, everything is pretty balanced. And that's likely a product of the amount of weapons and equipment on offer. There's so little, it's easier to balance. But before I start rehashing old points, I want to say that I do enjoy the world of Titanfall. I think the levels, for what they are, that's a very standard futuristic military shooter levels. They do attempt, and they don't always succeed, but they attempt to tell a story. Now, the thing about level design in multiplayer shooters is that it doesn't have to tell a story. Team Fortress 2, it does. In Dark Souls is almost built on its environments telling its story. This is, of course, not Dark Souls. But if you want to get a feel for the environment of Titanfall, it's here. And I think that it's interesting. And before I end, I want to say that I think that the DLC for Titanfall, because they have announced 45, 90, 135, and probably over the next 6 months we'll get DLC for Titanfall, and then Respawn will transition to Titanfall 2, which they have said they're working on. So I think the DLC will be maps, campaign, and possibly game modes. Now, there has been some controversy over whether or not there will be weapon DLC, and I don't think there will be, but given the success of the Ghosts DLC and their weapons that they've been putting out, I wouldn't rule it out. So what do you guys think of Titanfall now that you had a chance to play it, if you've played it, based on the spam that you've been getting at Titanfall, which I know I'm helping with? What do you think of the game? I'm gonna have something a little more high effort next time I post, and I'll see you next time.